Hi, welcome to my guitar tutorial. Today I'll be talking about uh, an idea I've been just kind of playing around with over the last couple of days. F sharp minor pentatonic, B minor pentatonic, E minor pentatonic, and then identical patterns on two-string groupings. So it might be helpful if you just look in the description below the video and download the PDF. I wrote down some of the diagrams and I kind of organized them in such a way that you can follow along. So the idea here is something I've talked about in a lot of my videos, that to group the guitar up into two-string groupings. So it just so happens that all the patterns that I'm going to do, F sharp minor, B minor, and E minor, as you move them across the fretboard, they're exactly the same patterns. So I'll kind of go through the diagrams that I have written out here, and then I'll do some improvisations, and then depending on how long this gets, maybe I'll talk about moving these patterns around, because that's the beauty of these. When you take two-string groupings, you can go from pairs of strings and move them across. You just have to be careful when you go across the G and B strings, which I probably won't really be addressing that today, because then all the patterns shift. Okay, so how about to start off with, so I'll just kind of go right across that second fret. So the other thing I thought would be interesting with this is also pair each of these pentatonics with just a basic bar chord. So you can kind of, in your own playing, or if you're playing with a group, you can play a chord, and then you can play like a little scale lick or fill. Okay, so F sharp minor, I'm just going to assume F sharp minor, bar chord, first diagram. I'm not going to say the note names. That would make things go a little smoother. Because I have them all written out on the PDF. F sharp minor pentatonic. Okay, the next one is B minor pentatonic. And next one is E minor pentatonic to go with the E minor chord. And go back to B minor. Okay, so I think what I'll do next is I'll just do kind of a basic, like a 1-4-5 progression. So I won't necessarily do a 12-bar blues, because so the video doesn't get too long. So I'll kind of make my basic progression will be like a B minor, and then an E minor, then a B minor, then an F sharp minor, and then a B minor. And I'll just kind of sort of feel my way through this. So I'll play a chord, and I'll play one of these licks out of this this first set of diagrams going right across their second fret. And I'm going to be using today a drum jam metronome about 88. This is something called hi-hat and percussion C, and I like this. It's a little bit slower. I also have a little bit of delay. I have the delay so that it matches the tempo. Here it goes. B minor. E minor. B minor. F sharp minor. And back to B minor. I'm just going to play. Okay, so one of the things I didn't do, which I'll talk about right now, is something I've talked about in all my videos. Whenever you say pentatonic, you in almost all cases, you can always throw in the blues note. Okay, so in all these, I didn't put these in here. So for example, I'll just go across very quickly. So the F sharp. Oh, so you can always throw those in. Okay, then B minor. And you listen to any classic rock, blues rock, Black Sabbath, and any of that, that stuff. That's a very, very common quick example, well, I'll just throw in some of these the chromatic or the flatted fifth blues scale. Okay, so just for today's lesson, I will go kind of in order of how these are on the diagram here. So the next one, I'm just going up to the 9th fret. Okay, so F sharp minor pentatonic, and I'm basing it around this just standard F sharp minor bar chord. So everybody, if you know, might recognize that as Layla, and there's a lot of riffs like that. Okay, then a B minor, I'll just base it off of this B minor here. Right, B minor, and then E minor based off of. And for the E minor, I'll go ahead and throw in the low E. So one of the things I like to do, because I've done a lot of solo guitar gigs over the years, throw in open strings whenever I can. So that third diagram there, B, D, E, G, and then E minor, and then back to B. Okay, so I'll just do the same thing here. I'll just kind of improvise around those patterns. Okay, so theoretically speaking, F sharp A, C sharp E is really an F sharp minor 7th chord. But for this, when I was conceptualizing this, I thought, well, let me just use, you know, just standard bar chords as a jump off point. Okay, here it comes. Same idea: B minor, E minor, F sharp, something like that. B minor, E minor, B minor, F sharp minor, and then back to B minor. I'll just play freely now. So you can have a lot of fun with this, put a jam track on. So the beauty of this approach, you know, based on, you know, my years of playing a lot of, you know, solo, you know, chord melody stuff, is it's all based around different chords. And as you see, as I get through this tutorial, you'll see I'm combining, you know, root 6 and root 5 chords, and that's how all these diagrams are meant to kind of tie the whole fretboard together just on 2 strings. And you'll notice how sometimes I'm just letting that delay, you know, sync up with the backing track. So obviously, there's a lot of different things you can do here. Like if you wanted to use like 7th chords, E minor, that would work very well there, and then B minor 7. That would also work too. Okay, so let's go down to the second set of diagrams. They're starting from that low F sharp. Okay, so then I'm going F sharp, and then I'm just going to go into this next little all right, so you can see how that ties both of those chords together. So F sharp minor, then that 5th fret pattern, and then back down. All right, so that's a nice integration. So that's the whole point of this tutorial and what I came up with here. So B minor, now 5th fret. That ties into this B minor bar backwards. And back to that one there. So root 5, root 6. Okay. So the general strategy, what I often will do here is I'll slide up with my 3rd finger and slide down with my 1st finger, but there's no really rule there. Okay, so E minor, G, A, B, leading into that E minor chord. All right, so you can see just very, very basic bar chords here, and then I'm keeping everything, you know, on these on 2 strings. Okay, so before I go into my improvisation, let's go ahead and throw in that blues scale note. So you have F sharp minor, so then your blues scale note would be right here. Do, 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 do. Iron Man, right? Okay, now B minor. Right, any kind of classic rock, blues rock will have that. Right? That's that blues note. And then for the E minor, blues note. Okay, so I'll do the same thing I have been doing. I'll put the track on. I'll do a B minor, E minor, B minor, F sharp minor, and then at my discretion, I'll either throw in or not throw in those blues notes. Okay, B minor based around that 5th fret pattern. E minor. B minor. F sharp minor. E minor. E minor. Yeah, I'll just go freely here. there I threw in a little kind of fancy jazz chord, just as a turnaround. 'Cause think of it as a 1, 4, 5, and then you can throw around these kind of fancy jazzy chords, sharp nines. This is a F sharp E, A sharp D, so it's a sharp, kind of a sharp 5 chord, and that leads really well back into the B minor chord. Okay, then the last set of diagrams on here are just the open position but moved up. So on the 12th fret, so F sharp minor. All right, so I can either jump back, or I can go to here, or I can use some other chords. Okay, B minor, the last diagram there. Okay, so B minor, and then E minor. All right, so those of you who have been playing for a while, you might recognize this as different pieces of blues boxes or patterns that you already know. Okay, let's go. I'll go ahead and throw in the blues scale notes. So here you're on F sharp minor, B minor, that's flat 5, and then E minor, and B minor. Okay, so I don't want to get too long with these videos, but as I was getting ready to shoot this video, I was just kind of thinking of these different chords, and I think it's good to sort of sometimes think very basic. That's kind of how I look at it. Kind of like one of my mantras is you have to really know the basics really well, and I kind of have this kind of pet theory that like the Coltrane's and the Oscar Petersons and people like that, they just have the basics down so well they don't even think about it. So that's kind of what I think about. I want to have the basic stuff down under my fingers, this thing, that thing, arpeggios, be able to hear it, feel it in my bones. So that I thought, well, I have my basic chords. I thought, well, it'd be cool to sort of do like a jazzy kind of thing. So here's your F sharp A, E, kind of a nice little voicing for that F sharp minor. So what I'm going to do, I actually have the X Pandora on right now, so it's giving a little bit of edgy sound, which I don't normally do. Normally I play clean, but been kind of experimenting with adding just a touch of overdrive to my sound. So here I'm just going to play really soft, and maybe I'll even switch my pick here. I'll switch to this. That's the Telefunken, and that's the Prodigy. So there's our scale, F sharp minor. And now B minor 7, B, D, A. Okay, and then E minor, E, G, D. It's a nice voicing. It's a D. Okay, let me go back to the Telefunken. I've been kind of dying. F sharp minor. Okay, so I'll just do something with these chords, kind of make it a little bit jazzier, and then to end off the video, I'll see if I can incorporate all these different patterns together. F sharp minor 7. B minor 7. E minor 7. B minor. F sharp minor. B minor 7. I'll just do like a little more free form. So probably, you know, could have dialed in a little bit better tone for that little jazzier tone, but or I could have maybe switched it to a swing. But for this purposes of this video, I'm just keeping everything kind of the same. All right, so let's start wrapping this up here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate all these diagrams. So there's no really particular rhyme or reason to why I presented it this way. I thought that by presenting it the way I did, 2nd fret, 9th fret, 5th fret, 12th fret, it was easier to kind of fit everything on the same diagram and make it clear. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just kind of show you how everything just kind of connects up together. So F sharp minor, the first, 2nd fret diagram. Okay, then the 5th, then you go to the 5th fret diagram. Then you go to the 9th fret diagram. That looks up to that, okay? And then you go to the 12th fret diagram. I guess I can. Okay, so I'll come back down. So 12th fret diagram, 9th fret diagram, 5th fret diagram, and then open diagram, or the 2nd fret diagram. Okay, now go to the B minor. Same idea. So you have B minor chord, 2nd fret. Then you go to that 5th fret diagram. And then you go to the 9th fret diagram. And then you go to the 12th fret diagram. Come back down, 12th fret. 9th fret diagram, the 5th fret diagram, and then the 2nd fret diagram. Okay, and then last but not least, the E minor. Okay, a 2nd fret diagram. Then you jump to the 5th fret diagram. Go to the 9th fret diagram, and then you go to the 12th fret diagram. Come back down, 12th fret diagram, 9th fret, the 5th fret diagram, and then the 2nd fret diagram. Okay. So then I'll just leave it up to you to kind of move these patterns around. I'll do an ending improvisation to wrap this all up. I'll kind of stick with this stuff here. I might go ahead and move some of these across, but as I'm improvising, I'll try to make it clear what I'm doing. So anyhow, that's the concept that I've been thinking about lately. Taking this, these 2-string groupings, which I've talked about a lot in my various videos, and sometimes when I make comments on other YouTubers' videos, I often point out, well, what about this? And I'll maybe suggest considering the 2-string groupings. Okay, this would be kind of a loose kind of 1-4-5. I might sometimes sit on one chord for a while. I might get into like a more bluesy thing. I like to keep these improvisations free. I have nothing particularly planned here except the backing track, and we'll see what happens here. So thanks for listening and watching. Have fun with these concepts.